couple things I need to tell you. First, there was a vigil for the Georgia Tech student who was shot. It turned violent. A police car on fire. Students arrested. Also, Maria stirring up in the Caribbean, now at Category 5. It's time for the late feed. Campus of Georgia Tech on lockdown tonight. Violence erupting there, all after a peaceful vigil. It all happened because of the shooting of the student yesterday that we were talking about, Scout Schultz. Well, tonight there was a vigil. It turned violent. 2 police officers injured. A police car set on fire. We've got video of this. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is what's happening tonight on Georgia Tech. And it's all about Scout Schultz, shot and killed by Georgia Tech police, and now that vigil turning violent against those same police. Let's go to Ron Jones, who's on campus tonight. Ron, it really started as a peaceful scene, but things got out of control.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the flashpoint right here, Vinny. This is the Georgia Tech Police Department, the headquarters here. And shortly after that peaceful vigil, that's when the violence broke out. Let's get straight to that video once again that you were talking about. Before you know it, some of the protesters had left the quiet vigil. They were marching down the street, and they were visibly upset, not only frustrated with the police, but they were frustrated with the media as well. They were shouting at us, telling us to leave the campus, and then before you know it, they're firing off fireworks, they clash with the police, and then that's when it went from bad to worse. And as you can see in some of that video, and we had to mute some of the audio because of the words that were being expressed during that time. Several people were arrested, as you pointed out. Several people arrested, several officers injured as well. One officer taken to Grady Hospital with minor injuries. And actually, the family of Scout Schultz put out a statement. His parents put out a statement saying that, hey, listen, we want you to protest, but we want it to be a peaceful protest, and please do not use violence because this is counterproductive from what Scout was all about. You talked about this as well. It got so heated here that one of the protesters took a flare and set a police vehicle on fire. Let's get to that video. I don't know if we have that.
Ron, we did just see that video,
on fire.
Ron, we did just see that video.
Okay,
question I have for you, do you have any idea if these are students or these are outside agitators who came to campus tonight?
You know, most of them appeared to be students, because they were making demands for students, saying they need better mental health care. They need better relationships with the police here when it comes to use of force, that maybe they should have used a lesser lethal weapon or lesser use of force against Scout. So most of the young people we saw here, in fact, appear to be students.
We've just gotten word, a tweet was sent out by Georgia Tech police that they were in lockdown. It's an all clear at this point. So apparently the situation now under control.
Yeah, it appears to be under control. However, this street right here in front of the police department, that is still on lockdown as we speak. We haven't seen any protesters, any agitators, so to speak, here. But yeah, it's on lockdown in front of the police department, but not on the campus as a whole.
All right, Ron Jones on the campus of Georgia Tech. Now we're going to check back with you in a little bit. Ron, thanks so much. Really an unreal night. Now, this is all related to one thing, right? The shooting of Scout Schultz. As we take a look at this, this was given to us by a witness to the shooting and allowed us to show this to you. And obviously, this is what it's all about, right? That's Scout Schultz. But what we have also found is that social media questioning whether or not police had to shoot Scout and wanted to know why weren't tasers used. Well, that's a question we can answer tonight because the Georgia Tech police don't have tasers. They don't carry them, so that was not an option in this case at all. Again, as Ron mentioned, the family attorney did speak about not wanting the violence, but he also spoke earlier today about the reaction of the family and what they want to see happening here and the questions they have. Take a listen.
One officer, though there were 5 out there, decided to shoot Scout in the heart because they either weren't trained or they lost patience. They definitely were not in any immediate threat for their life or safety.
But whatever happened, it shouldn't have ended in a death.